Welcome to Little Talkers. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. You've been signposted by one of the speech and language therapy team to join this session and to find out more about speech, language and communication. The Little Talkers programme as a whole involves this introductory session, a live parent workshop and 2 one-to-one video reflection sessions with your linked speech and language therapist. The aim of the Little Talkers programme is to give you some advice, share some ideas and explore strategies together that can help you help your child's communication development. Children learn a lot of their communication from their primary carer, usually their parent or their carer or guardian. So we know that if we can help you to have a greater understanding of speech, language and communication, an understanding of how it develops, and what can support communication to develop more, then you can feel confident in knowing how to support your child. So let's think about our children. All children are unique and develop differently. They develop at different rates. Some children are a little more at risk of having difficulties with their talking. It might be they have a hearing impairment or a developmental difficulty. There's lots of reasons. You've been signposted to come on this Little Talkers course after a conversation with your speech and language therapist, and there it was identified that your child's communication maybe is not at the level that we would typically expect for their age. This happens to lots of children. What's important right now is that we get ideas on how to help them progress from the stage that they are at now to the next step. Learning to be a little talker is not just one skill. There are lots of skills involved in talking. We're going to look at the individual skills involved and see how they all link together. It's helpful for us to think of communication in a pyramid structure. Let's take a look. At the foundation of our pyramid, we have social interaction and play. Next, we have attention and listening. These 2 aspects really link together and create the foundation of our pyramid. Next is the understanding of language, the understanding of the words, followed by what we call expressive language or talking, getting the words out. And the top of the pyramid is the speech sounds. That's making our words clear so that other people can understand us. Let's look at each one of these in a bit more detail. Underlying all of these skills is the desire to connect and communicate with another person. Social communication and interaction develops from the earliest of days and it's dynamic. The parent looks at the child looks back. The baby gurgles and the adult repeats that sound back to them. The adult waves goodbye and the child copies and does the gesture. It's back and it's forth. The adult and the child are in tune and they're connected together. Often it involves play and having fun. As a child develops, so their social communication skills get wider. The range of people that they're able to connect with increases. They're not just learning to connect with adults, but also with other children. But social communication and interaction can be disrupted by a range of factors. It might be that it's disrupted by the child's own ability to connect with somebody else. Or maybe something in the environment has disrupted that ability to make a connection, to be in tune. When we're thinking about social communication and interaction, we're thinking about things like non-verbal skills. It might be gestures, eye contact, our body language, the awareness of somebody else as part of the conversation. It's using our communication with not just familiar people, but with new people, not just adults, but also with children. It's important at this point to think about how our children play and the different types of play they might enjoy. There'll be lots more about this in the live session. Children are motivated to communicate about the thing that really interests them. So it's important to understand how your child is playing. It might be that they enjoy sensory play, like squeezing, pulling. It might be that they enjoy constructive play, like building a tower. Some children enjoy simple pretend play, making a cup of tea, giving it to Teddy. And some children even enjoy using their imagination as they are playing. The car might be flying up to the moon. When motivated to connect with somebody, when something is interesting to the child, that child's going to give their focus and they're going to give their attention to it. Attention and listening skills is the other foundational skill of our speech, language and communication pyramid. Children develop their attention skills and their listening skills over time. Initially, their attention to things is short and fleeting. They will tune in and they will listen to sounds around them, maybe looking at a person who says a word. And over time, that attention will grow and grow. Children then will begin to develop joint attention, where they're able to give their own attention to something that somebody else is doing. They might be reading a story. It might be another child playing a game and they can go and give their attention to that game. Over time, children learn to focus and play, as well as listen to the words and the language they hear around them. That's quite a difficult skill, even for us adults. When children begin to tune in and listen to the sounds of words, they form connections between that word and the thing that it represents. This is understanding. Children need to be interested and to focus on the words, to make those links and to learn and understand what the words mean. For example, when you see this and I say the word ball, you start to make connection between the word and the object. That is understanding. At first, children learn to understand words on their own. Ball, car, cat. And then as they develop, they tune into the words they hear in sentences, picking out the main words and maybe two main words in a sentence. They then go on to tune into more of those main words and some of the little grammatical words as well as they develop their language skills. For most children, understanding what the words mean comes before they can then use the words. That is talking. So when children understand a word, it's stored in their word bank. To talk, children need to go into that word bank and retrieve the word that they want to say. To do this, they need all those skills we've already talked about. As children develop words, initially, they come on their own as single words. Then they begin to link two words together, and then little phrases emerge, moving on into short sentences and building on over time into narratives and stories. Children need a good amount of single words before they get to that point of joining words together. We know they need at least 50 single words. We also know that children need lots of different kinds of words to build these little sentences, words like verbs and adjectives. Let's take a little look at some video clips of children at different stages of their talking. Here, the child is beginning to make sounds and babble. Hello. Hello, how are you? Here, you can see a child using single words on their own.
Should we go sleep? Night night. Night night. Yeah, night night. They're all sleeping. Oh, get down. Okay. Night night. Night night.
Here, a child is joining two words together.
Beetling. Beetling.
Here, the child is starting to link words into little phrases.
I love my daddy. My dad, mama, dad. No, mummy.
Not mummy. Love daddy.
Hello, daddy. Hello, mama.
Here, the child is starting to link little phrases together.
Like, they got dinosaur off. They go like that. I hire dinosaur, dinosaur, mommy.
You got the dinosaur sticker. You stuck it on George.
Look. Look.
Peppa's in bed.
Make it blue, mummy.
You're making Peppa blue.
Okay. I colour that, mummy.
You colour that one.
Yeah.
I'm colouring it blue.
Not good. Not good, mummy.
It's not good. It doesn't work very well on that one.
Here, the child is beginning to tell stories and build narrative.
I live on this old ship and it's my friend Zombies. Ha ha. Come on, Zombies, out. Yay! We have friends all together. We are coming to get you, Zombies.
At the top of our speech, language and communication pyramid is speech sounds. When children start using words, they don't have the adult sounding version of the word. An example being cat might start out as da. As children's listening skills and their talking skills develop, they will refine their speech sounds to become more like the adult version. So da might become dat and become cat. This can take quite a long time. At the youngest ages, we focus less on the speech sounds because we're focusing on those underlying skills of the pyramid first. So we've talked about all of the skills involved in learning how to communicate and how they link together. We're going to recap this when we do the live session. What would be helpful is for you to have a think about your own child and where they're at in each of these different areas. There's a lot for children to learn to do when they are learning to talk. It's not a wonder that for some children, it's a bit tricky. Now, let's think about how we can help. In the live session, we're going to focus specifically on strategies for each aspect of the pyramid. But it's useful to think about how you can help your child when you are playing and when you are communicating together. When an adult and a child are in tune with each other, then that back and forth that we mentioned earlier just happens. We interact and enjoy play. I enjoy interacting with you. I pay attention to what you say. It's easy for me to pay attention. I give language at your level. I understand and I learn from you. I tell you more words as we chat together. I feel confident to try out new words. I respond and praise you lots, and I get lots of praise. However, when it's difficult for a child to start that back and forth cycle, then the adult finds it difficult too, and it can break down. Does that sound familiar? It's not a conscious thing. It's not because of something the adult is doing or isn't doing, but it's because it's difficult for the child to connect and to tune in and to listen and respond. Subconsciously, we as the communication partner will adapt how we communicate to try and help our child, to help them connect, to listen and to talk. Some of those strategies will be really useful and really helpful things, and some of them a bit less so. If I get down to your level and play face to face, I know that you are interested. If I follow your lead, I know that I matter. If I stop asking questions, you start to make sense. If I add a word to what you are doing, I might have a go. If I repeat your sounds and words, I feel more confident about trying. It's not rocket science, and it's often not a quick fix, but when you put these strategies into action every day, little by little, it helps get that communication cycle back into balance. Being face to face, following your child's lead, reducing the questions, maybe adding words or repeating their words. Think about your child's communication and the strategies that you are naturally using as you are playing together. In your video reflection session with your speech and language therapist, you will explore these strategies in more detail and some more, and work out which ones you can focus on as you are playing together. Thank you again for joining this introduction to Little Talkers. We hope you found some of this information useful, and we will build on it in the live session. Please do take the time to book on. Thank you.